it going, everybody? This is Taba Drop. I hope you're having another great day, and welcome back to another video. Alright, well, first off, Happy New Year, folks. It is officially 2024, which means another year to celebrate life, and also another year to hopefully accomplish some things that you really have struggled to try to accomplish over the last few years. That's right, I'm talking about New Year's resolutions. Now, obviously, a lot that has to do with spending time with family and friends, obviously, but also some personal goals that you have set in mind in which you really want to try to accomplish before the end of this year. In fact, a lot of people have a bunch of resolutions, while some only have very few. But the problem is, very few resolutions are ever accomplished by the end of the year. In fact, there's a lot of people that have a huge list of resolutions that really have not been able to find a whole lot of success with accomplishing all of them by the end of the year. And for those that are wondering why, I'm going to explain that to you. For this video, I'm going to be sharing with you why New Year's resolutions fail. I'm going to share with you 3 reasons as to why New Year's resolutions don't end up panning out. And I'm going to share with you 1 key tip that will allow you to be able to accomplish not only your resolutions, but also all of your personal goals that you have for the upcoming year. So this is going to be all about resolutions for the new year. Now, obviously, as we all know, everybody has a personal set list of resolutions that they have throughout the course of the year that they want to accomplish, whether it's get a new car of their dreams, or maybe even move out and get their own home, maybe even find a new job, or maybe just a whole bunch of other things in life. You know, like maybe just work out, you know, start losing a lot of weight, or, you know, just a whole bunch of other stuff. But the problem is, you only have 365 days a year to be able to accomplish all of those resolutions. And unfortunately, those 365 days, they fly by very, very fast. And unfortunately, you have very little time to be able to accomplish all of them before the end of the year. And because of that, not everybody is able to accomplish all of their resolutions on their list. And take it from me, I'm one of those people. I can tell you a lot of my family and friends have also been on that boat as well. And really, there are 3 key reasons as to why I think New Year's resolutions fail. And the first one of them, and this is probably one of the most common, you're not making the effort to accomplish them. Obviously, if you have a huge list of resolutions, you better make an effort to accomplish all of those resolutions, because otherwise, if you barely even make an attempt at any of them, it's going to make you think, why did you even think about putting that resolution on your list as something that you want to accomplish that year if you're not even going to make an effort to be able to accomplish it at all? And the reason why I say that is because there are a lot of people that have a certain amount of resolutions that they want to accomplish this year, and for some reason, on some of them, after only like 1 or 2 days, they immediately just give up and focus on the next resolution. Or they set that resolution, however, they keep passing it off for like another time, and ultimately, they never get to it because they're either lazy or they're just not interested in making that effort to really accomplish that resolution anymore. Trust me, it happens, and it happens to literally everybody. The best example that I can give, let's say that you're trying to work out something like that. Like, you're trying to lose a whole lot of weight. So let's say like you're at this amount of weight right now, and your set goal at the end of this year is to drop a certain amount of weight. And so that's ultimately one of your New Year's resolutions. So how do you do that? You gotta go out and go for a lot of walks. And also, you gotta go to the gym quite a bit. And trust me, that's a lot easier said than done. Unfortunately, the reason why many people are not able to lose a whole lot of weight is because they're not only not even bothering to go to the gym, they're also not really making an effort to really go out and get that exercise needed to be able to lose that weight. Now, obviously, you know, there could be other factors that really end up going into it, but still, those are just one of the many reasons why people have failed to accomplish their New Year's resolutions, because obviously, if you're going to make a resolution, you really need to make an effort to accomplish that, because otherwise, it's going to make you really question why you even put that as part of your resolutions list at all. The second thing that makes New Year's resolutions fail is that there's just not a whole lot of resources, or unfortunately you're not getting enough help to be able to accomplish that. Now, obviously, if you're going to accomplish a resolution, you need a lot of motivation, and also a lot of help from family and friends, and maybe even colleagues as well, and also a whole lot of materials needed, so that way you can be able to reach your goal and ultimately accomplish that resolution that you have for the year. Now, most of the time, these resolutions, they are somewhat achievable. Unfortunately, the reason why some of those resolutions fail is because sometimes, like let's say if you want something as part of adding onto your collection, it's just too expensive and you can't make enough money to be able to really afford it. Or let's say, for example, you really want to move out and maybe just have your own home or something like that. Unfortunately, because of so many factors, maybe that's the reason why that you're not able to accomplish that particular resolution. Like, take it from me, for example. I'm still trying to find my own home, and I had set this goal after I had graduated from college from 2021. But the reason why I have not been able to accomplish this resolution 3 years later is because, well, it's really simple. The prices of most homes nowadays, even those that are for rent, are way above the level of salary that I currently have at my job. And unfortunately, unless some things change, unfortunately, it's still going to be very hard for me to be able to find my own home anytime soon. Or let's say you want to try to find a job or something like that, or like a new job or something like that. Hey, it's out there right in front of you, but unfortunately, you're not getting enough help on building up your resume, and you're also not getting enough help in being able to practice your interviewing skills or something like that. So obviously, resources like that are needed to be able to accomplish that goal of maybe getting a new job. But unfortunately, there's just very few resources out there for some people that they're just not able to really find the job of their dreams. Now, of course, resolutions are achievable, but you really need to have those resources to be able to accomplish them, because without them, or enough of them for say, it's going to become a lot harder for you to be able to accomplish your New Year's resolution. Finally, the third and I think the most important reason as to why New Year's resolutions fail, and this is probably a really common thing that happens with everybody that sets these up, very simply put, they're just unrealistic. You have like a whole set list of resolutions that you have on you, and then you have like 4 or 5 things that you have on your list that are really your top goals. And ultimately, you really want to accomplish those things and just dead zero in on them by the end of this year. The problem is, they are so high up your grade that really, there's just no way to be able to accomplish them, even if you have the resources and the help that you need. Especially if you even make the effort to try to do so. Now, obviously, most resolutions, everybody's going to try to make some effort to be able to accomplish their resolutions. And yet, the smaller resolutions and all that stuff, hey, they're able to accomplish that. You know, like start a family sometimes, you know, get their home, get a new car, a job, maybe even start, you know, like having some new friends or something like that. Hey, you have the ability to accomplish those. But whenever you're thinking about something like, hey, being like a lifelong season ticket holder sometimes, or maybe this is something more crazy like travel the world and all that stuff, unless you really have enough of those resources on you, hey, you're just plain crazy to think that you can accomplish this resolution by the end of that year. Resolutions like those usually take a lot longer than a year to be able to accomplish. Heck, sometimes maybe even like 2 years or something like that, maybe even longer. You wonder why? Because it takes a lot more time than you think to be able to really find the resources needed to be able to accomplish that particular resolution. This goes back to what I was saying with point number 2. If you don't have those resources, it's going to be a lot harder for you to be able to accomplish those resolutions. It's another thing though, if you set a resolution that's just way too far ahead of your overall goals. Trust me, unless you're flat out crazy, it is next to impossible to be able to accomplish unrealistic resolutions. And so you really need to think about it before putting that down as a resolution, because like I said, this goes back to number 1 as well. If you're not going to make an effort to accomplish a resolution, it's going to make you question why you even put it on in the first place. However, if you put a resolution on there that's unrealistic, trust me, that's a whole completely different ballgame. And trust me, that is really unrealistic. So yeah, New Year's resolutions, everybody has their own set list of them that they want to accomplish. But because of the 3 reasons that I just mentioned, a whole bunch of them are going to fail. Mostly because either you're not making the effort to do it, or because you don't have enough resources to accomplish that potential resolution, or most importantly, you're just setting resolutions that are next to impossible to achieve. So because of that, I think that there's one tip, in my opinion, that can really help you be able to manage those resolutions and ultimately accomplish them by the end of this year, or ultimately whenever you decide to accomplish them. And that one tip that I want to share with you to be able to accomplish all your resolutions is to take it one resolution at a time. Like, for example, take it everything one day at a time. It's the same exact thing here. Here, you need to make sure that you have a set list of resolutions that you can be able to accomplish. Every single one of them has to be realistic, because otherwise it's going to be a whole lot longer before you're able to get through that entire list. So before you go out and try to accomplish your resolutions, you need to set up a list that are ultimately achievable. Some of the resolutions that are ultimately realistic, and the ones that you can accomplish right away, get those done literally right away. So literally just take it one step at a time. The easiest resolutions come first. The hardest resolutions, you're going to have to work for that to be able to accomplish that at the end of the year. Trust me, those hard resolutions like getting your home and ultimately starting a family, all that stuff, it's going to take a whole lot of effort and a whole lot of resources to be able to accomplish. So make sure that if you're going to set that high of a resolution, as long as it's realistic and achievable, make sure that you're building up all the resources and all the finances possible, so that way come the end of the year you are able to accomplish that particular resolution that's very high up on your list. Trust me, as long as you follow that tip and take it one resolution at a time, you're going to be able to accomplish most, if not all, of your resolutions by the end of this year. Many people fail this step because they're not taking it one step at a time. They're going after the big ones right away instead of just starting out small. You have to start small and then work your way up from there, because otherwise you're just being unrealistic, and it's going to take a lot longer for you to be able to get to where you need to be by year's end. The New Year's is that time of year in which everybody begins to set their list of goals of what they want to accomplish by the end of the year, and that's exactly why they are called resolutions. So that way everybody can understand what they need to do, so that way they can get to where they want to be by year's end, or if possible maybe a little bit later or sooner than that. Unfortunately, most resolutions are going to fail. A lot of the reasons is because they are unrealistic, or because it just becomes so hard to be able to accomplish. But that's why it's important that you take every resolution one step at a time, because if you're going to go big right away, it's going to become a lot harder for you to be able to accomplish. That's exactly why resolutions are so hard to achieve, and you really need to be realistic whenever you're setting those resolutions. Trust me, I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what 2024 brings. I'm really excited to see exactly what happens, and I definitely have my whole bunch of resolutions that I want to accomplish by the end of this year. Some of them still dating back to my 2021 year opening video, but still, as long as you know exactly what you're doing, New Year's resolutions can be achievable. So if you have your set list, as long as you know what you're doing, go out there and do your best to accomplish them, and trust me, you will have a much easier time succeeding in life. Alright, so that's going to do it for this video. I would like to hear from all of you. What are some of your New Year's resolutions for this year? And more importantly, how do you plan to tackle all of them? Like, how exactly do you plan to accomplish all of those resolutions by year's end? Or maybe sooner or later than that? Feel free to let me know down in the comments below, and I'll be more than interested in hearing your opinions about it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you all enjoyed it. As always, if you'd like to see more of my content, be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when my latest video is released. Comment below for future suggestions for my videos, whether it's blogs, projects, or challenges, you name it, leave it in the comments below and I'll do my best to make them. And as always, follow me on my social media, all the links are in the description below. That's going to do it for my first video of 2024. I hope you're having another great day. As always, I hope to see all of you again in another video very soon. So long, everybody.